For City of Charlottesville Risk Manager Philip Spence, there's no such thing as a typical day.
So a typical day for me, and this probably goes for most risk managers, no 2 days are the same.
However, Spence usually begins his day like many others, on the computer.
Generally, I like to try to come into the office and see through the emails or voicemails what's transpired either overnight or what's out to tackle the day that day. Of course, a phone call will come in, something's on fire.
On one particular morning, Spence found that someone had installed a teeter-totter or seesaw into a stump in the city mall overnight.
We had some trees cut by Parks and Recreation a few months ago, and they left some of them at a height of about 4 feet for a different project later. For one of our police officers who patrols the downtown mall called me and said, "Hey, we got this teeter-totter. Do you know about this?" I said, "No, I don't."
After confirming with his colleagues that the teeter-totter was not installed by the city, Spence and Centralized Safety Coordinator Algridus Gator Batten stood guard until maintenance came to remove the device.
We had to fend off some children from playing on it, and then we were called the no fun police by some folks, but that's just the way it goes, right?
Spence spends many mornings attending accident review committee meetings, meeting with departments throughout the city, answering risk management questions, and completing paperwork.
If somebody has a question or something they need figuring out, be a question about insurance coverage or in a contract, that's a big part of what we answer here.
At 10 a.m., Spence attended a meeting with the City Yard Safety Team, including representatives from Utilities and Public Works.
And some lighting, and Mark got some quotes and specs for that, and we've installed better lighting up here as well as back there.
The group discusses projects happening in the city as they relate to risk management, in addition to upcoming scheduled training.
The DCGS program is fantastic. It's free, which is also really great, and they do a stop the bleed component as well.
Next, Spence meets with Utilities Safety Coordinator Kelly Hedrick. Hedrick ensures that utilities staff receive specific safety training needed for their positions.
If there's an accident or if I have any questions that regard risk, I can always call Phil and he can walk me through what I need to do.
Help determine the preventable versus non-preventable, and usually it's pretty cut and dry. But,
right.
After lunch, Spence and Gator continue to work on a project to identify and locate AED devices throughout the maintenance facilities. The city has received ARPA grant funding to add and replace devices, and the team is working to identify needs and proper placement areas to ensure staff have access to an AED within a 1.5-minute walk of all locations.
So this is the one AED for the building in our Utilities and Public Works admin building, and we're looking at either adding to the number of AEDs for this building or at least relocating this one so it's not just on one far wall of the building, that it might be some more centrally located. As far as an AED, having it somewhere maybe like against this wall inside the shop. Yeah, if you're at one of those bays, you come running this way, you can see, because the one time you say, oh yeah, we need one AED for in there, because they always have that open. It won't be open.
Next, Spence and Gator met with representatives from the Charlottesville Fire Department to discuss recent claims.
All right, 3-4-20. While performing a VEIS training exercise at the Fontaine Fire Station, firefighters was transitioning from a ladder through a second-story window to a room on the training mezzanine. While transitioning through the window, firefighters let go of the wall at the window and had a hard landing on the floor.
One issue that has come to light recently is the sensors on the bay doors.
When I send it back up, it's on a 2-minute timer.
Right.
We exit, and 2 minutes it comes down. These bay doors used to be set up like that. We've gotten away from it with our overhead doors and Apple doors coming and working on them a lot. So we're manually working them a lot, and they go up, they run.
Toward the end of the day, Spence meets virtually with Benefits Administrator Sarah Butler from Human Resources to discuss how to add additional risk management content into the new employee orientation training.
And we usually do benefits in the first hour, personnel policies the second hour. So
You want to give them the warm and fuzzy before you give them what they can and can't do. It's like trying to keep things at like a 30,000-foot view where it's applicable, to everybody in some way, shape, or form. And once they get to their department, then they can get like the hyper-focus.
Spence winds down the afternoon reviewing contracts the city enters into, as well as checking in on notifications received from the DMV on driver records.
Got a quick question for you. The maintenance specialist one,
Do you know if that's a CDL job or not?
In addition to his role in the city of Charlottesville, Spence is also active in the Virginia Public Risk Management Association, where he serves as secretary, running the organization's website and LinkedIn page. As he packs up for the day, Spence knows that when he returns in the morning, he cannot guarantee what his day will look like, but that's how he likes it.
One of the things I really love about this job is the complex issues I get to work through on a daily basis. I do have the ability to work with people from all facets of local government and get to figure out what I can do in risk management to help them achieve their goals.
VRSA is here to protect our members and their employees so they may effectively serve their communities. We are proud to work with risk managers such as Philip Spence, who is working every day to protect the employees and citizens of the city of Charlottesville. Share your story with us. Reach out to VRSA to discuss what your entity is doing to manage risk in your community. For more information, visit www.versa.us.